Hello and welcome to a new location in my house. I'm now in a room that I intend to call, oh, I'm not sure what the English word would be. But the room where my loom is, you can't see it. And if I switch anything now, okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to show you, which is gonna be interesting because I can't really see what you see when I see it. So, and also, hi, my name is Kersti. Welcome back. It's gonna be a mess, as usual. Okay. This is interesting. Let's see. Over there, up on the wall, the white thing is my whiteboard. And this, do you see that? That's my loom, that's my big loom. And all the boxes, because I don't have any. Oh no, and now I have to try to put you down again. Anyway, okay. Is this still? Yeah, it's somewhat centered. Okay, it's fine. This is the room with my loom. The room with loom. Okay, and a lot of boxes because I have no organizational drawers, shelves, anything here at the moment. And I'm staring at the blank wall. So, yay. And the lighting, sorry about that. There are no ceiling lights in here, which, also, the puzzle I'm gonna do is this one. I've had this, I don't even know. It's called Mountain Chalet, and I think it was released before you started to put, years. No, wait. It was released in 1994. When I got it, I have no idea. I have done this many times before, so I wouldn't call it cheating because, that's the beauty of puzzles unless you, glue them up. You can do puzzles again and again. Hold on. And after I've done my puzzles, I always put them in plastic bags because I do not want to risk losing any pieces. Because I'm thinking that would suck. Because I have lost pieces in the past. And oh man, I wish I had the thingy where I can place this so I can see it. I'm pretty sure, I know it's in one of my puzzle boxes, I just don't know which one. And I'm not gonna go look for it right now. So. Yeah, this is gonna be my puzzle, no, not my puzzle room. It's gonna be my loom room with the loom. Yeah, and my whiteboard so I can write down my thoughts occasionally. I need to do that. Sometimes I do it on a piece of paper and other times, well, the lighting here is really bad. And there's not that many, what do you call it in English? Stikkontakt is the Norwegian word. You know, where you plug in things like a lamp. I have a lamp, but it's over there in that corner. You can see the bottom of it. Hold on. Pointing the little round thing in the bottom, that belongs to a lamp. But it's too far away from where I'm sitting. So, yeah. And there's no plugins? Is that what they're called? What you plug in? Yeah, there must be plugins. English is not my first language. I'm Norwegian. I blame that. I miss so many words in English, but it's fine. My last puzzle that I was doing, the Dolphin Kingdom, I finished it. I showed you that. It was so much fun. The blue in the end, somewhat less fun because it was a lot of blue. I don't really mind blue. I like the color blue. It's just, I'm not very good at seeing gradients, so that was definitely a challenge. That puzzle I have now packed away. Obviously, this is the table I put a piece of plywood on and did it because this table wouldn't have been big enough. But that puzzle has been packed away and sent off back home to my sister. I doubt it's at my sister yet because, it's gonna take a little bit of time before it gets there. I sent it with my parents last time they were here. And they will get it to my sister at whatever time they go to her and her family. So that was that. I'm done with that puzzle. I'll probably never see it again. A little sad about it, but you know, that is what happens when you borrow someone's puzzle and you have to return it. Okay, that's kind of the basis of borrowing things, that you're supposed to return it at some point. So it is now in the process of being returned. So it's out of my house. Not to be done by me again, in all likelihood. It was fun though. I really enjoyed it. It was big. It is the biggest puzzle I've ever done. 5,000 pieces. And I have done it once before, many, many years ago. So it was kind of nice doing it again. Which is also why I had the piece of plywood, because the last table I had couldn't fit that big of a puzzle either, so my dad managed to get me that piece of plywood. So I had a big enough piece to put the puzzle on. I still have the plywood, so I can get such a big puzzle again. I just can't have anything bigger, because then I can't put it together. Not fully. Unless I just do it on the floor. But, you know, I'm not going to do that. I kind of like sitting on chairs and couches and stuff like that, and not just on the floor. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind sitting on the floor, but there are limits to how long I enjoy sitting on the floor. So, I'm doing a different puzzle this time. I do my usual thing, picking out all the edge pieces first, and then we'll go from there. Since I have done this puzzle plenty of times before, don't ask me how many, I have no idea, but it's been many. So, you know, I have a good idea on how to put it together and what goes where. I don't really need to look at the picture all that much because I know it. I haven't done it very recently, but, you know, I only have so many puzzles. I used to have more, but years ago, I was trying to tidy up and get rid of stuff because I had so much stuff. And it turns out I still have a lot of stuff, and I mean a lot of stuff. And at this time, I won't ever get rid of puzzles again. And I mean, I've had puzzles that I've gotten rid of, and I'm totally okay with some of it. But it's one puzzle in particular that I really wish that I hadn't gotten rid of. That is partly because it holds memories. And I mean, I still have the memories, I don't have the puzzle anymore, and it sucks. But at the point in time where I was getting rid of stuff, including several puzzles, I wish I could have them all back, but that one in particular, and it was a 500 piece puzzle, so it's not like it's big, but it was the memories about that. But I have learned because of that puzzle, so I guess I should thank past me for getting rid of it, because now I know I will never ever get rid of puzzles ever again. So, you know, you win some, you lose some, I guess, or something. And also, the lighting, actually, it doesn't look that bad on camera, but the lighting here is not good, also because it's not that late in the day, but it is great. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it's raining, and I'm not saying it's loud, but I can definitely hear it. It's raining a lot. It's coming down, and it's been coming down for days now. So, you know, there is that. The rain is coming down, it's getting wet, everything is soaked. And yes, my basement is back to having, you know, a little bit of water in it. Way less now that my parents have helped me fix a few things. I mean, there's still some water that comes in, And we have some ideas how to minimize it even more. We just haven't gotten to it because, you know, a lot of things need to happen, and they're not everything I'm able to do all by myself. I need help. And I love so much the fact that my parents are willing to come and help me as much as they do. I am very grateful and very lucky, and I feel very blessed, and sometimes almost a little spoiled. And I actually told that one to a friend of mine at some point. Like, sometimes I feel spoiled by how much my parents are helping me. And she was like, well, parents are supposed to help, so you shouldn't have to feel spoiled. And also, I don't think you're spoiled. And I was like, but I feel it. I feel spoiled because I feel so lucky that my parents are willing to do so much for me. So yeah, I'm gonna still call myself spoiled. For I let's be honest, not everyone has parents like that. I am lucky enough to still have parents like that. So I'm gonna allow myself to feel that for as long as I possibly can. That's all I'm saying. And also, I learned a new word in English. I knew the English word, but I didn't know what it was in Norwegian. And I had a word that I needed to learn in English so I could tell you about it. And then I made myself laugh. Because, I mean, last time my parents were here, they weren't here for like a long period of time. We didn't have that much time because they were kind of like using me as a pit stop to and from somewhere else, which is fine. I'm happy that they can do that. I love the fact that they can do that. Also, they brought me some firewood, which I'm gonna need this winter, so yet again, very grateful. But on the last day they were here, they were gonna leave after lunch, so between breakfast and lunch, I asked if they wanted to go for a walk with me, kind of in the woods, kind of by the lake, to pick some berries, because I hadn't really picked that many, and, you know, free stuff in nature that I can eat, yes please. Except mushrooms, I don't like those. There's something about the texture freaks me out. Point is, I didn't know the word for the berries in English. So I was gonna try to explain them to you. Like, oh, they're kind of like blueberries. They grow in the forest, but they're not blueberries. They're red, and they're slightly smaller than blueberries, and they're also a little bit less sweet. And when I make jam from them, I use them with dinner, not like blueberries that I also put on my bread when I have a slice of bread with blueberry jam, but they're red. And I figured, you know what? I'm gonna try to make it easy for myself and also maybe learn a new word, you know? So I Googled it. In Norwegian, they're called tyttebær. And apparently, in English, they're called cranberries. And I mean, I've heard about like, oh, you use cranberry sauce on your turkey or whatever. So I was like, oh, that's what cranberries are. Because I didn't know what cranberries were. I mean, I've heard about it. I had no idea what they were. But apparently, cranberries and tyttebær is the same thing. I feel like I should have been able to put that together earlier than, you know, just honestly yesterday. I was yesterday's years old when I learned that cranberries and tyttebær is the same thing. But anyway, so I learned a new word, except I didn't actually learn a new word. I just learned what a word I already knew. I learned what it meant. So last time my parents were here, we were out picking cranberries, and we picked a total of 3 liters or 3 kilos of cranberries. So I made jam of some of it. The pot I have to put it in when I make it is not the biggest, so I made jam from a little bit more than half of it. The rest is in my freezer because picking it takes some time. But we were 3 people, so it didn't take that long. Oh dear. One more word I probably should have checked what is in English. Rensa. When you like look through all the berries and you pick out all the leaves and all the stems and all the bugs, because for some reason you always get bugs in the bucket. Or at least I always do. And I was not alone about that because I picked out all the things from all our buckets. We had a bucket each, and there were some bugs. There were a lot of leaves and all the stems. Like probably 2/3 of the cranberries had their tiny little stems still attached to the berry. And I don't want to eat stems. I'm interested in eating the berry, not the stem. So I spent, I don't even know how many hours. It was a lot of hours. It was several hours over 3 days picking out all these tiny little stems from pretty much all the berries. Some of them, they were so stuck that I couldn't get them off, but seriously, that was so much time spent. But at the same time, I'm a little annoyed that it took so long because, man, it was nice weather too, so I wanted to be outside, but I had to pick out all these freaking stems. So I did that. I picked out all the stems, and I put it in the freezer for a couple of days because by the end of picking out all the stems from the cranberries, I was so sick of it. Oh my god. But I did it. I completed that part of the mission, I guess you could say. And I made jam out of some of it. And I'm so grateful that I have it. I haven't tasted it yet because, well, I haven't had dinner dinner that fits with that dinner, or with that food. Oh my god. I do wonder, can you hear the rain? It is so loud. And also the lighting is, getting worse. Honestly, it looks better on camera than it does in real life here. So I'm starting to think maybe I should try to get the lamp closer. But also, if you're new here, you might not know this, but I am having a struggling time figuring out how to transfer footage from my phone to my computer so I can edit. So everything you see here is very real. There is no edits anymore because I don't know how to transfer the footage. So I just kind of I guess you could say I give up on that. I gave up a little bit, and also I realized that I couldn't be bothered because I don't like editing that much, and what little I do edit is mostly just cutting away a couple of things, and honestly my editing is not really, it's not exactly a lot of editing. So in that sense, it's not that much of a point to do edits because I don't edit much anyway. So I kind of gave up on the editing part. So even though it would be nice sometimes to be able to transfer footage from my phone to my computer so I could edit some, I'm like, maybe kind of just not give up, just take a break from that potential thing. So yeah, give me a few seconds. I'm gonna see if I can bring the, and also I don't have plugins any closer, so yeah, hold on, or not, that's up to you. But, let's see. Oh. Okay, that was, is this better? Is this better? Maybe not for you. It's not really better for me. Maybe it would have been better if I put it there. There is a plug-in there, but there is a little too much stuff in the way. Oh my god. Okay, on camera, this lighting, no, but you know, you're gonna have to live with it because it's better for me. So just that's how it is. I mean, I'm the one who is doing the puzzle. I'm the one doing the puzzle, so I need to be able to see what I'm doing. Though the lighting there, not the best. I think next time I'm gonna try to move it there, because that's kind of like the closest one I have, unless I want to use what is it called, an extension cord, kind of like basically extra length that you put on the wall, and then you move the lamp, and then you put the lamp. Yeah, you know what I mean, right? God, words are hard. Okay, words are really hard. So yeah, I have spent quite a bit of time picking little stems of cranberries so I could make jam. I've made a jam. It's good, or I just assume it's good because I've done it before. So I haven't tried it. I just assume that it's good because I've done it before, as I said. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep my fingers crossed and hope it works out as usual. So yeah, that's some of the things I've been up to lately. Also, I had my car at, God, English words today are apparently, some of them are evading me. We just have to live in it, I guess, maybe? I don't know. Hold on. Why don't you fit anywhere? Come on. Gotta fit somewhere. Yeah, because I'm Norwegian. I live in Norway. Where I live, we are really good because Norway is not in the EU, but we're really, and I mean really good at adhering to all the rules without having a say. We just accept everything pretty much, which I have opinions about that. The opinions is not always agreeable. Let's just put it like that. But because of that, and to an extent, I am not really that opposed to this rule, because every 2 years we have to get our cars checked to make sure they're still safe to drive. And I think that's a, you know, I don't know about you, but I like my car to be safe to drive, and my car have had some issues throughout the years. I have a freaking binder with all the issues my car have had, so, you know, I guess you could say I appreciate that cars are checked biannually. The thing I don't really appreciate is that, well, it's expensive. And as I said, my car has a freaking binder of things that have needed to happen to it. And it keeps, honestly, it keeps getting worse. And I'm just like, how on earth? I probably should have gotten a new car, but I don't know anything about cars, so I don't know what to look for in a car to make sure it's a good one. So I'm just, yeah, I'm a little freaking out about cars right now, or at least my car. So, yeah. I, about a week and a half ago, and because you have to have it checked every other year, there is a time limit. It's like you have to have it checked within this date, or this car have to be checked within this date, which is fine. This year, due to circumstances like falling down the ladder, I repeat, do not tell my mother about that. She doesn't know, so she will never know, I hope. I really hope. But because of those things, I was a little late booking the appointment. I knew that, and also since I know my car and it has a binder of things that have happened to it, that was a whole ordeal. And I got the appointment to check my car a week before the due date, basically. And if it had been a good car, it wouldn't have been a problem. Since I know my car, when I booked the appointment, I said I kind of need it earlier. I know I'm late, but I kind of need that appointment to be booked earlier because my car have a tendency to not exactly like be approved immediately. Probably needs to be fixed somehow. And when I booked the appointment, they were like, "Yeah, it's fine. We'll work it out. It's gonna be fine." And it turns out, as I kind of knew it would, things had to be fixed on my car, and they needed some parts, and it took more than the week. So that meant that earlier this week, I had to go down back to the place where they check the car, where the mechanics work, and I was technically not allowed to drive the car because it wasn't approved. But like, you have to get it approved to be allowed to drive it, but you also have to get it there to get approved to be allowed to drive. There was a bit of a catch-22 going on there. I had to get it somewhere to get it fixed and approved, but I wasn't allowed to drive there because I was past the due date and you're technically not allowed to drive there. So that was a bit of nerve-wracking. I will admit that was definitely a little nerve-wracking, but you know, they could basically tell you you can't go anywhere if we catch you driving. So getting to the place where the mechanics were like, I hope it's gonna be okay. Luckily, not so spoiler alert, thankfully it was okay. They fixed my car. It is now legal to drive my car again. I can legally drive my car. Very happy about that. And I will certainly, very certainly, not be this late ever again with booking that appointment. I will say though, usually my car takes longer than expected when they fix it. Like, they set aside time to fix my car, and then after a while they're like, "Oh, sorry, it's gonna take a little longer. Are you okay to sit and wait?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." But this time, for some magical reason, they were done an hour early. Then again, I mean, they'd set aside time from, God, what was it? From 8 in the morning to 2. So it was like, we set aside 6 hours to fix your car, and they were done after only 5. Yay! Don't get me wrong, I sound sarcastic, but I was very, very appreciative of them being done early. But I was also like very confused because that is not what I'm used to with my car. My car usually takes longer and gets more expensive. That's just the nature of my car. But this time, no, this time it didn't cost more than what they told me, and also gosh, it's impossible to see. The lighting here is horrible right now. But yeah, it didn't cost more than they told me, but wow, that price, that was, yeah, I can't afford to keep that car. I don't know, I just spent so much money fixing it. But it was also done an hour early, which the poor guy that had worked on it, he came and he was gonna tell me like what he had done and all. First of all, there's not really a point telling me that. I don't know anything about cars. I know how to drive them, but that's pretty much it. But also, as I said, they were done an hour early, which is unheard of with my car. And then it was the fact that, you know, I didn't know anything about cars, so it was no point telling me what they had done because I wouldn't have understood anyway. But I was so floored that they finished early. So I basically brushed him off. I'm sure it's been brushed off before, and I didn't mean to be rude. I was just so surprised that it was done early. So a poor guy tried to tell me what they'd done. I wouldn't have understood that anyway. But I was more like, you finished early? And everything is okay? Are you sure? Are you sure you haven't forgotten anything? Because you finished early, like an hour earlier than expected. There must be something off with this because my car and finish an hour early? Well, are you sure you did it right? So he didn't get to explain everything he had done because I was just so confused. So absolutely confused. You probably think I was weird, but you know what? I'm weird. Deal with it. But I was just like, you finished an hour early? That's kind of what I took away from that appointment. That they finished an hour early. It's still playing in my mind. It's like, they finished an hour early on my car. With like, I have a whole binder. How in the world did they manage to finish an hour early? But yeah, that was nice. That meant I got to go home earlier than I thought because I sat and waited, you know, and it's not like it was that much to do there. So that was kind of boring. And the pain was not fun because that was expensive for my wallet. Very, very expensive for my wallet. I mean, as I said, I don't know much about cars. I just have to, like, assume they're gonna be honest with me. Which, I don't, in some cases. But I think we're okay. But, yeah. But the price of that repair and then getting it approved, 15,000 Norwegian kroners. And I don't know how like the exchange rate is at the moment, but oftentimes 10 Norwegian equals 1 American dollar. So 15,000 Norwegian is about 1,500 American dollars, approximately. So yeah, it was not cheap. It was very expensive. So, you know, a part of me is like, well, I'm glad I like noodles. Except noodles have started to become expensive too, so I don't know. Yeah. This lighting is horrible. I feel like I can't see anything. So, I was going to tell you one more thing, but that needs to happen in a different video when I have better lighting, because I like to be able to see what I'm doing. It makes it so much easier. And I should probably also, you know, go make dinner. That would be great. Getting hungry. So I hope you have enjoyed this. As usual, thank you so much for watching and subscribing if you have. And I will see you in the next video. Bye! Whoa.